thanks for coming back onto my channel. This is Ziainspirations coming to you tonight to talk a little bit more about self-care. So in one of my very first videos, I stressed about what was the number one most important thing that you can do. And this can actually relate to any aspect in your life. In the video that I'm mentioning, it's referring to like when you know, care, or love someone that has an addiction problem. What's the one most important thing that you can do? And so I discussed about how it's taking care of yourself. That's the number one. So in that video, I talked about a couple of things that helped me in regards to that, because I, for one, very much struggled with it, because I always felt like I had to take care of everyone else before I took care of myself, especially dealing with small children. So there was a lot of things that I had to learn with myself to really make sure that I took that seriously. So just to tap in a couple of those points that I mentioned in the first video, one of them was journaling, taking baths, going for walks, getting out and getting some fresh air, speaking to a counselor, and then going to meetings. Like, those were the very first steps that I took to take care of myself first. You know, and even as simple as making sure that you're eating healthy, taking care of like your nutritional body needs, you know, your health needs to become number one priority, as well as along with your mental and your soul, like however you want to explain it, but you have to take care of yourself first. So to kind of dig into more of those, like when I had journaling, I had like some journals, just kind of, and some of them weren't even journals, like a lot of them were just like notebooks or something that I would just use. And so, but if you don't have any of that kind of stuff like around, like just lined paper will do the job. There was some times when I would just grab like just printer paper and just start writing it out just to get my thoughts out. But one of my really favorite resources is the dollar store. I know in my case, money became like really tight, and I'm sure that if you're under the same kind of circumstances, I'm sure, like, because money in this situation, it does become like a real touchy subject in a lot of different ways. But trying to be resourceful and to work with what you have. Being a mother of three, I had to get really creative with my self-care things. So at the dollar store, you can find these journals at the dollar store, and they're just $1. And they come in like some of them cute prints, or just like the regular like black and white, just basic colors depending on your preference. But yep, the dollar store came in handy with those. And then regarding like bath, like they have like bath salts, they have like loofahs, things like that to like help with that. And so I'll kind of tap into more of like things that I would get from either being from free or dollar store, certain things that you can use in this regard. So another was like candles, or like lighting and stuff like that, like just to try and like change like the energy or like the feel of the atmosphere of the house. Like I remember when my my addict ended up leaving. He ended up moving out of the house, and this was before I knew of his addiction. Like one of the first things like I just was drawn to do was I ended up just opening all like the windows of the house, and just get some fresh air in it, and I just had to like get some fresh air and just like in a way change the energy of the house, and that helped tremendously. I noticed a huge difference, and I noticed in the behavior of my kids, like it was a difference. And so that should just be like a standard every day. And I do that now all the time. We're just coming out of like the winter. We're getting into spring. So it's the weather's starting to get a lot nicer to where now I can open up the windows and, let some fresh air. So in some circumstances, it gets a little tricky, with depending on the weather or where you live and, that kind of situation. But yeah, if you can't do that, then if you can actually just get out of the house, like I stressed that as well in my first video. But yeah, more resources at the dollar store was the journaling. So those were the journals. Another was coloring. I started coloring when I mentioned like how I would start having like these, I would start getting anxiety. Like I never had anxiety ever. And then my therapist showed me some breathing techniques to help me with that. But another thing that when journaling or talking to friends or, whatever, I needed something additional, I started coloring. And so this was great. I did find some of these kind of similar sketchbooks. This one was given to one of my children. And so I haven't used it yet just because, but just to give like an example, I don't know if you can see that with the lighting, but it's like adult coloring books, like in a sense. But they do have some of these at the dollar store. I have seen them. The one that I was using with my son, it was so helpful. Like these, you can get as detailed as you want in these. I'm not sure if you can see those. Or some of them are just like simple, you could just basically just sketch whatever. But just drawing actually did help. It helped a lot with that anxiety, and it was very, very therapeutic. So anytime that I was feeling overstressed or just, I just had to like journaling or anything like, it was helping, but I needed some more. This helped a lot. At the dollar store, or even like at like standard like Target, Walmarts and stuff, they have like a variety selection of like candles for like different price ranges. But yeah, the dollar store, I've gotten a bunch of candles from there. They actually have a really nice selection, and there was really nice scents and everything. You just have to like, just like anything with the dollar store, you just have to like, look for those little hidden treasures. This one I got, I think at Walmart, and it was like 89 cents. So just finding like a scent that you like yeah, I definitely. But or if you're like me, where I couldn't be so resourceful with candles because of my little ones, just like lamps or things like that, like helped out tremendously. But again, like if resources are slim, again, just simply getting some fresh air, walking, socializing with friends, that sort of thing. And so, nowadays, money is the control of all the world. It tells us what we can do, what we can't do. But in a sense too, it's like if we can find a way to spend, $4 or $5 at Starbucks, we can definitely spend $1 or $2, or getting some coloring pencils or pens and stuff at the dollar store, and that alone will benefit substantially, like physical, mentally, like it's I would strongly suggest it, definitely. But if your thing is to go and have some coffee, because I know coffee can definitely change a person's mood, or if you're not a coffee person, like a tea person, or like Starbucks has like some pastries, going and socializing, going out and talking to people, or meeting with some friends, and just to get your mind off things and talk about everything but what is going on, if you're using all those other avenues. But if you are going there to talk and to vent, then absolutely do what's best for you. I think what I'm going to end it with is another important thing that I did at the very beginning was I made sure I wasn't even guided, suggested, or told to do this. This was something that I knew I needed. Was I dedicated a place for myself. Like I made sure I had a place where I can go and have some my time, me time, alone time. Being a mother of 3 little ones, you know, like they follow me around like with like little ducklings, and you know, like it seems like as soon as I sit down or I'm on the phone, then they want my, you know, my attention and stuff. And so I made sure that I had a space of my own, that was dedicated to me, to where I can have my time. Now with that, of course, there's like, you know, a lot of gray areas with that. There was a time when I was living with family where I had to share a room with my youngest. You know, like her crib was in my room, and so it wasn't really necessarily like I had a space for a while until we got our own place, and I was able to put her in her own room, which is what she desperately needed at that age. Thankfully, it all worked out. But yeah, it was when I didn't have that option to where I could dedicate like a room or a space, in a sense, because I was living with family. I had my kiddos, you know, and I made sure they had their own space and their own areas to have. I just would dedicate anywhere. It became to a point where it was more like dedicated time. So like I'd make sure I'd get them to bed at a certain time so that I could have X amount of time for myself to unwind, or, you know, do whatever, just to kind of help me with that mental, to kind of recharge in a sense too. But yeah, like for instance, like for my space, it's become like my room and like my bedroom. And so my bedroom is my bedroom. And so the little ones know that they can't bring their toys or stuff. Like I didn't want like more, you know, like toys and things all over the place. Like this is my room, this is my space. And of course, you know, they still come in, and you know, like it's not like I have like a forbidden sign or anything like that. But yeah, like they wake up and they have a nightmare or something like that, you know, they know that, you know, mommy's always here, you know, that kind of stuff. But when it comes to where it's like I'm needing, like, yeah, I don't have their toys, I don't have books, I don't have like their clutter, you know, in my stuff. I have my place, I have my things, and then I can come in here and just relax. And yeah, that has been substantial. But I had been in the situation where I couldn't do that, you know, because I was sharing a room. So like when I was putting the kids down, my little one, she shared the same room with me, so I couldn't go and just like relax in my room, like, because she was in there going to bed. And so I would find different avenues, ways to like take care of me still, and then I can then go to bed and make sure that I was refreshed and ready to go the next day. So yeah, so I think I'm going to end it with that. Again, I'm going to still try and get videos out at least once a week. I have my email address posted, so if anyone wants to reach out, has any questions or anything like that that I can help with. Again, these are just things that I have done through my own experiences to share with you all, to see if it can help anyone. That's all I can hope for. So if you know anyone that you think might benefit from this video, go ahead and please feel free to share, because like the more we reach out, the more that we help people, the more that we can help other people that are dealing with this, and especially our loved ones that that are battling this this disease. So yeah, so again, just know that you guys are so strong. I am sending you all my love. Take it day by day, and you guys take care. Thank you.